morning. Welcome to Fibertown, everybody. I'm Emily. I'm Chain of Fools on Ravelry and Fibertown with an R-E on Instagram. Welcome. It's episode 52. It's the 5th of February, 2014, and I am glad you all are here. It's about noon. I'm in my kitchen again today, and we had a nice storm last night. Not too bad, but I just went outside to the mailbox and things are just dripping incessantly from the trees. All the ice is melting, so it should all be safe and good to go. Wearing my Albers cowl today, which I realized got cut out of the show last week with all the technical difficulties, so I'm going to show you all of this again in a minute. First, you can watch me on the following places. YouTube, which I find quite easy to do because you can subscribe, and I do follow some podcasts on YouTube that have left the bliposphere, so to speak, or some new ones that were never on Blip. You can watch me on iTunes. You can watch me through Hipcast, which is where my podcast is hosted, and you can watch me on my blog, fibertown.blogspot.com, and that's with an R-E. So, I need to check out that Feedly. It's like a feed grabber, RSS feed grabber that Emily from What She's Watching was talking about. I need to check that one out to see if that's an option for watching podcasts. So, just there's so many changes right now with podcasts leaving Blip and so forth. So yeah. So that's where you can watch me. I want to say thank you to Cookie Lady Knits. Is Alice listening? I noticed in editing last week that Alice really likes your name, Cookie Lady. So thank you to you and to Sarah Pomegranate for the iTunes reviews. Thank you very much. Also, welcome to Seashore Sharon, who's Sharon from New Jersey, and I have heard your name before, Sharon, and I'm very excited you're part of the group. Thanks for joining. I've heard, you mentioned as an amazing bag maker who, doesn't sell her wares but gifts them. And yeah, just really pleased to have everybody. And somebody else that I sort of know through the Ravelry sphere is Turtle Girl 76. I know of her, I should say. And that's Christy from North Carolina. And she, I believe, is the designer of the Breaking Heart socks. And I think she has other designs as well, but that's the one I've knit, and it's an awesome pattern. And she is a new mom, so congratulations. She has a 3-week-old. So wow. Lovely, lovely, and interesting times, I'm sure. Let's see, we have Jules9, who is Julie from Southern California, and she has, get this, a Great Dane and a Chihuahua min pin mix. That is some crazy, odd couple stuff right there. I love it. And we have Julesy, who is Julia from New Jersey, and she is the designer of the Monster Cowl. Thank you all so much for joining, becoming Fiber Townies. And let me tell you guys about the January FO's winner. I drew from that thread before the podcast, and the winner is number 9, who is Tanya Marie, and I believe she's local to me. So congratulations, Tanya Marie. You can PM me on Ravelry. Tell me which pattern you would like, up to $7. Okay, a couple more things, and we'll get into the knitting. The ASPCA fundraiser for Seket, who is Maya. She's doing a bike race. I'm going to mention it again. The prizes are a $25 Etsy gift card and a skein of Rainbow Lorna's Laces Soulmate, generously gifted by Memers of the Hudson Valley Knits podcast. So yeah, go on over there, donate $1. You'll get a chance to win. All the rules will be in the show notes, as well as the links. All right. So Cookie Lady Knits, who was the winner of the Gourmet Stash Fibery Tribbles last week. She contacted me and said, I'm just not a spinner. I'm not going to learn. Thanks anyway. Keep it for yourself or give it away. So she and I talked to Kate of Gourmet Stash, and she said, well, I have patterns I could give her. So Kate is very generously going to be sending me, in my next Gourmet Stash order, a copy of, I believe, the Fixation Hat pattern. So I will send that off to Cookie Lady Knits. And I'm going to redraw from that Podiversary thread for the Gourmet Stash Fibery Tribbles. And that was, I don't have it with me, it's in the other room. That beautiful white box of chocolatey merino and Angelina and all sorts of good stuff, silk. mixture, bonbons of fiber. So that was numbers 2 through 78. Bear with me, I don't do randoms very well. 45 by myself on screen. So just bear with me here as I look for number 45 in that thread. Oops, that's not right. Hang on. Anniversary prize thread. $45. Page 2. Okay, so the lucky winner here is Miss Lily Knits. So congratulations, Miss Lily. Cool. She gave me a tip about felting recycled sweaters. Pretty awesome. All right, so get in touch with me, Miss Lily Knits. Let me know if you would like the tribbles. They're awesome. I considered keeping them for myself, as Miss Cookie Knit said that I should do, perhaps, but I couldn't do that in good conscience. I have a set for myself, so I'm going to enjoy those very, very, very much. And yes, I do have some Gourmet Stash coming very soon. I'll be showing you next week, and that is my Valentine's Day present. So can't stop with a Gourmet Stash. Okay, so let me show you, let's get into show and tell. So let me show and tell my Albers for you. As you know, this is all out of Gourmet Stash hand spun poonies. I'm mostly spindle spun, a couple I spun on my wheel. I plied them all on my wheel. So I left, all of the colors are on my project page, and this, you know, blocking did amazing things for this. It's so different now that I've blocked it. It's just, I love it. It is so special to me. So, so, so special. And this is my favorite square right here. I do kind of regret not doing 4 colors on most of the squares. What's kind of cool is that it can be a different, depending on which square you showcase, it can be a very different cowl. Like that. And there's that beautiful Fiber Town purple. I love it. I love it, I love it. One mistake I potentially made was using 100% merino, which is this gray here, the plain Jane. Bloop, 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 where is it? Right there. It's much floofier than these other blends that have alpaca and silk, and it just, you know, like a merino, like a short staple fine wool does, it poofs. So it was hard to match the gauge of that merino with these other blends, but you know, the blocking really took care of most of the gauge weirdness that had happened before. Do you love it? I love it. I love knitting with my hand spun. I highly recommend it if you don't do it. Just super fun, and I could see myself doing another Albers, definitely. So thank you to Ann Weaver. This is a pattern by Ann Weaver. Thank you to Kate from Gourmet Stash. She's the genius behind the color combinations and the working of the fibers. So it's just really fun. Okay, let's see. Oh, you know, so this got cut off on the last show. I'm so glad you guys liked hanging out with my friends Sarah and Leanne. They enjoyed it. I felt terrible that we had so many technical difficulties. So, for example, some socks that Leanne was knitting out of lollipop yarn that Sarah and I gifted to her for her birthday, that was cut out, and it's awesome yarn. So maybe I can get her back on here in a few shows to show it off again. It was a colorway called Vintage Vibe, and I think some other things got cut out as well. And sadly, Sarah has arrived back in Germany now. So there's a tiny chance I could see her this summer. Probably won't happen, but we'll see. Okay, so my other works in progress, very quickly. Oh, no, sorry. I'm not to whips yet. My other show and tell, one of my others, I've been busy, is a Milo. Look how cute. I opted for the Aran braid cable on this one, and I held the yarn, fingering weight yarn, double. And this is the result of me playing yarn chicken. Yes, indeed. It was worrisome at the end. I didn't do a very large border because I knew it was going to be close. So this is lovely yarn. I had my doubts about it as I was knitting because it is dense, but after washing, it feels just nice and squishy. So this is Hazel Knits Artisan Sock in the Coveralls colorway. And this is the Milo by Georgie Hallam. This is the third one I've knit. It's rare for me to knit the same thing more than once. So that says a lot for this pattern. It's one of my favorites. It's magical. So I didn't change a thing about it. I always knit the pattern. I don't modify it unless I run out of yarn and can't knit the whole border. What did I want to say about this? Oh, I knit the 3-month size. The pattern calls for DK weight, and it's a great pattern. It has tons of sizes. The pattern calls for DK. Fingering held double is more of a worsted. So I knit the 3-month size with the hopes of getting like a 9-month size. I think I got more of a 1-year size. But you know what? This pattern is so versatile. I've seen it with Leanne's baby girl. I knit her one. And Sarah's baby girl, I knit her one as well. And they're able to wear it, even a big one. Especially a little girl, they can wear it as sort of a tunic or a dress. And then as they grow, it turns into just a little vest. And there's no sleeves to get in their way when they're, because baby sleeves get all chewed on and drooly and stuff. So I am very happy with this, and it will go to a baby shower for my friend Amy this weekend. So I was kind of hoping I would have enough for a matching hat, but I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I will knit for this baby boy more as he grows. Alrighty. Last show and tell. It's not completely finished, but it is on its way. This is the pillow. I think it's from Natural Knits from Moms and Babies. And Leanne and I collaborated on this. I knit the front, she knit the back, and you can tell that I have not sewn on the buttons, but basically, once they're sewn on, this will close. Yeah, so it'll come off and it could be washable. So there will be 6 buttons on the back, 3 on each square, and then they will be lifted up and buttoned like this. And then there will be a button in the middle right here. Now I have a button, not a great button collection, but a pretty decent one. It fits in one jar, so it's not that impressive. I considered using this handmade dragonfly button, but it's kind of heavy, and I think it kind of defeats the purpose of using this for relaxing upon, and it's going to a neighbor and friend who has been dealing with cancer, and so I think that I'm going to forego that and maybe just do this kind of cute little vintage. This is definitely a vintage button. And see, can I manage? There we go. Something like that. And the back buttons are all going to be very mismatched, kind of shabby chic looking. So this is Hobbledehoy Handspun Manos, which I seamed backwards. Good for me. But you know what? Nobody minds staying reverse stockinette. It's okay. Now this is Malabrigo Vintage, Madeline Tosh Vintage in Flash Dance, and this is the one textured heart that I did. And then this is Tess Yarns, which is so nice. And Leanne used, I think she used some brown sheep for this one. That's hearts. And then this is a ribbon yarn that she did this plaid pattern that's really beautiful. And this is a tweed, and that has a star motif. It's kind of hard to see in the tweed. And this one has a heart. So that, I have tons of ends still to weave in, and I need to attach the buttons, and off it will go. You know, I may need to block it too. It needs a little bit of blocking for the back squares. So let's see. That is it for show and tell. Works in progress. Take a little drink. Alrighty. This is the second sock in my Croy pair that's ongoing, and I mainly did the knitting on this last week during the podcast, and it hasn't gotten a ton of action lately. The weather's been terrible, so I haven't been out and about as much as usual, and this is my purse knitting, so it'll happen. I'm not too far from the heel turn. think that the next pair of socks I make, I'm going to try the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I'm going to step away from my comfort zone and see what all the fuss is about, because everyone loves that thing. So yeah, maybe I'll try my next pair of Croy. Will be a Fish Lips Kiss. A Fish Lips Kiss Croy. All right, so say goodbye to the sock and let me show you my other works in progress. Okay, follow your arrow. This shawl has seriously impacted my knitting mojo. And for a few days there, I was just like, nothing's going right. It's the shawl, I do one row and it's never right. It's never right. I put in a lifeline finally. I don't know if you can see it. It's you can see it's little orange lace weight lifeline. And this row I started on is already wrong. It's already wrong. I'm not even halfway through. So I just stopped there and shoved it in my bag. I'm only on clue 3, and clue 4 came out Monday. So I am behind, and it may be my Ravelenix mission to get up to date with this and get it correct. I don't know why I have so much trouble. I see on the spoiler threads that lots of people have finished these clues, and so it did really kind of get to me for a while, and I put it away and I knocked out that Milo, and it seems to have gotten me back on track as far as how I'm feeling about my knitting, but not so happy with this. So I did get smart and put in a lifeline, so at least there's that. Now these are my ChiaoGoo interchangeables, the red lace, and you can see perhaps that they have a hole in the right there. You can just knit and carry, and you thread yarn through that hole, and as you knit a row, you can simultaneously thread a lifeline through it. So I really love that about these needles. I just love these needles, but that's another, poke my eye out, that's another selling point for me. All right, it's been too long since I've done a sweater. It's been since November. So I got out my Ye Old Botanical Knits, and I cast this on yesterday. Autumn's End, Alana Dakos, not sure how you pronounce it. So this is a lace weight sweater, and you can see, I love her detail pictures. You can see, I don't want to show you too much of the pattern. Let me cover it up. I don't want to show you any of the pattern. But you can see here that the side panel is, I believe, yes, it's in stockinette. So you don't have to worry about fitting the decreases into a lace motif so much that goes around and around the pattern. So I'm very happy with this pattern so far, considering I have like 6 rows. But I think it's very well thought out. It uses a sport weight yarn, and the pattern calls for Ultra Alpaca Light or Fiber Company Road to China Light. I am doing it with hand spun. This will be my first hand spun sweater. I'm just hoping that it will work out. I really don't know. I think it will. I have gauge and stockinette. I think it's 20 stitches per inch. I have not looked at row gauge. That's okay. And it calls for 3 to 4 inches of positive ease. So typically how I make a sweater is I make a larger size on bottom, and then I decrease up to a smaller size on top. This, however, I can't do that because of the lace. I can't fool around with different decreases when there's a lace pattern. So I could potentially take that stockinette panel on the sides and take out stitches there, but so then a light bulb went off and I said, I'm just going to use a bigger needle size on the bottom. I picked a size 42 and a half. So that will give me 4 inches of ease. So 42 and a half, and I'm starting with a size 9. My ChiaoGoo, wait, are these interchangeables? Nope. ChiaoGoo Red Lace Fixed Circulars, and I'm starting with a size 9. I got gauge on a size 7, so I will just gradually decrease. I'll start with a 9, then an 8, then a 7 towards the top. I think that's kind of a good idea. So I am using my hand spun fin. It's a 3-ply woolen. It is not the softest yarn, but it is a yarn with integrity. And I made it, and I have just short of 1,000 yards. This pattern is lace, so it's going to use less yardage rather. And I'm hoping, I have the swatch that I've been carrying around sort of in my shirt under my bra strap to see how it affects me during the day. So I've just been wearing it, and I think I'm going to be fine. I do mind it around my neck a little bit, but my arms, the rest of my body, I'm fine. So I figure with an open lace like this, I'm going to need to wear something underneath it anyway. So the sensitive parts I can hopefully protect with an underlayer. And it does soften up significantly with washing. So that's the autumn's end. So I've showed you this. I've showed you all my whips. Let me show you my spinning. I'm going to put this back in this. I love this Blinger string bag. It's really cool. So that'll go in there, and I will show you my spinning. Took out my wheel, Fiona, and you know, I'm starting to think about Maryland Sheep and Wool. They're starting to talk about it on the Facebook group. So one acquisition I had there from last year that I really haven't done much with them, and I've had mixed results with my spinning of fiber optic. I'm talking about fiber optic in the past. Mixed results. Some of it has been just too dense. Some of it has been great. So I figure you grow as a spinner, you change, if hopefully you change and grow. So I wanted to see how I could do with it now. And I took out this beautiful fiber optic yarns, Thunder and Lightning Gradient. I just love these colors. And they're bright. It goes from a very dark midnight blue to a navy to a more of a dusky blue, and then it goes all the way through creams and yellows and oranges. Ugh. So I'm spinning this worsted, which takes forever, but I'm gonna do it. I want to chain ply it, Navajo ply it. So I want a pretty structured yarn. I don't want it dense though. That's what happened to me the other time I spun a fiber optic gradient. I spun it not a super thin single. Then I Navajo plied it, and it was just too dense. So I'm trying to find the right balance between a yarn that has enough structure to hold together as I Navajo ply, but that is not too dense. So I'm going for it. A little bit. I have like a little bit on the bobbin so far. So that is that. That is my spinning right now. All we have left is miscellaneous and up and coming, and there's a significant amount there. Let me talk to you first about 2 coupon codes. Victoria Blue on Ravelry, that is her username, Victoria Blue, as you would imagine they would be spelled. She is a designer, and she has, I believe, a cowl and a mitten pattern out there. She is having a coupon code through all of February, $1 off a pattern with the code 12th Arrow. So that's 12th Arrow, and I will link all these in the show notes. So check her stuff out. And the second coupon code is for Knitting Geisha. She has an Etsy shop. You've seen her bags. She gave one as a prize. Let's see. Her code is through March 1st, and it is Fibertown10, and it's 10% off anything in her shop. So it's Fibertown, all capitals, 10. And I will link her as well. So, what's up and coming? Well, I need to knit another snuggle. Knit some snuggles. I want to have a crocheted, a sewn, and a knit, so I need to bust out a knitted one very soon. So that might be something I consider doing during the Ravelinic games. I'm not doing anything structured, and I'm not holding myself to anything in the Ravelinic games. I'm just going to see how I feel on Friday. I might make it a priority to finish or to get caught up on the Follow Your Arrow during the Ravelinics. I might make it a priority to knit another snuggle. I don't know. But Janice Ficker contacted me. She is a lovely viewer, a Fiber Townie, and she suggested that I open a thread in the group so that people could discuss and talk about their Ravelinic projects. So, although I don't have a team and I'm not part of Team Sasquatch, yeah, there's going to be a place for Fiber Townies to chat about what they're doing Ravelinic game-wise. So I think that's it for the day, you guys. I wish I had my gourmet stash to show you, but the mail hasn't come yet. I went out and checked, but yeah. It's so special. I can't wait to get it. Alrighty. So, yay. All right. So until next time, Alice and I say, you all take care. Bye-bye.